So back on the road again, and why am I not wearing a hat? So we spent the last 2 nights on the wilderness camp in northern Sweden. An absolutely gorgeous place. We had another beautiful display, as you saw in the last episode. So this episode and the plan for the next bit is we have ticked off getting to the Arctic Circle. We've ticked off the Northern Lights. Reindeer are still eluding us, so we're going to go find the big S himself, Mr. Santa Claus. We're going to go drive over into Finland, into Lapland, which I know is both of these countries, but the bit where you find Santa. So we're going to go find Santa in Santa's village, because that's the adult thing to do, and maybe we'll find some reindeer there. But for now, another night in Sweden, a bit of a drive day today, down the E10 for a couple hours. Yeah, so let's get driving. Well, not let's get driving, we are already driving, as you can quite clearly see. Videos of interesting communications between John and Mandy and I. We've got some CB radios in, and if I see Rob with Pack the Man and Go, and maybe Greg Virgo, they've also got their radios with them as well, so a little convoy chatting, which is quite nice. We are getting to the first little bits of hints of winter, maybe. You know, it's sleeting at the minute. I've got the cold weather warning light on, and it's about 2 or 3 degrees according to the van outside, and we're starting to see a little bit of sleet in this rain, which is well, a good job that we're heading south now. The whole point of this was to go north when we had the weather and to get as far north as we could, and then when the weather window started to close and deteriorate, then we would make our way south towards southern Finland, which is just a little bit more warmer. Well, it's the following morning, and it's a stark contrast from the very windy lake we turned up to yesterday. But last night we got treated to another atmospheric phenomenon. This kind called light pillars, and I've got some not particularly great photos, but illustrate the effect of when a light source has this huge pillar of light going up into the sky, which is formed by a particular type of ice crystal, like a plate, which then aligns itself horizontally as it falls to the ground. Then light only gets reflected up in one particular way. That's a really terrible description, but more or less that's what it is, and that's another rare atmospheric phenomenon to see, or reasonably rare, but to combine that with a weak aurora display was quite nice. So today onwards, and we're going to go to Finland today in Santa. Right, well, on the road again, and we're going to do a short little drive from last night's park up to one of the Swedish Arctic Circle sites, and obviously get photos of the vans next to that, because why not? Should be nice. And then we've got about 2 hours worth of driving to do today, where we're going to drive over to Finland, across the border, and then over to Santa's village. I'm saying Santa's village because I can't pronounce the name of the actual village, which is like... Right, got to another Arctic Circle sign, got the photos. Time to carry on to Finland. I've just seen a reindeer about 100 metres off the side of the road. It was only a calf and a young one, but I didn't get any photos, so picture it didn't happen. I also think when I saw it, I might have shouted down the radio to John and Mandy a little too loud and excited. We're starting to get a little bit of sleet, maybe turning a bit to snow. Well, it's definitely starting to snow. border of Finland, which is the river, and that's Finland over there, which we're heading next. So the minute we're driving up this road, we're going to drive back up here, back into the Arctic Circle, and cross over at Pilo, up here. This is a pretty cool Arctic Circle crossing. It's got the globe that you see at a lot of them, but it's also got all the countries which within the Arctic Circle, the flag. And it's the Arctic Circle monument. And then the similar sign that we saw earlier. So, entering Finland. Okay, so stringent security as usual. We're now in Finland, and first thing we noticed is towards the Finnish border, even in Sweden, the wildlife is a lot more plentiful. So the second we reach sort of the river, which is the border between Sweden and Finland in this area, reindeer everywhere, and we also saw a moose as well. Now we've crossed over into Finland, and reindeer are kind of quite commonly at the side of the road, just eating the grass. But tick, we've seen reindeer and a moose. But I guess Santa's next. We need diesel. I'm running on fumes. I have 35 miles left in the tank, which is like 5 or 6 litres. Well, there's a Shell petrol station opposite Santa's village. So, Christmas diesel! Santa! Christmas food! I had to go for a reindeer burger. What have you gone for?
I have got a fillet of beef.
Fillet of beef and
I've got the chicken in red wine sauce with goat cheese on top.
oh, very Christmassy. Take that, Rudolph. The Arctic Circle line. Out the Arctic Circle. In the Arctic Circle. Out the Arctic Circle.
We do a video as well.
It's Christmas in the Arctic Circle. Tomorrow we're going to find Santa, the big C himself. It's Christmas in the rain, just like in the UK. Can't believe we're sleeping in Santa's car park. We didn't go see Santa. We waited in the queue, but he wanted money. And he was behind plexiglass. And you had to wear a mask. Didn't even get to sit on his knee. Is Santa okay? Well, that's a disappointment. But we can go enjoy the rest of the Christmas village.
Reindeer food, okay? You can feed.
Thank you.
He's like, no, I want the big one.
Where's my reindeer? Right, well, real Santa costs, but there are numerous other free Santas. So let's do a 2-minute Santa tour. Santa 1. Let's find some more Santas. Have a look at the Santas. Santa 2.
3.
Santa 4. God. Already Santas. I've already got that Santa. It's really warm running around in a down jacket in 4 degrees. Santa! Santa! Might be Santa. Santa! Santa. Pizza and burger. Right, that's going to be my 2-minute Santa tour. Don't send me a cease and desist, camper vibes. This is where Santa makes the toys. Actually, it might be the Santa shipping office for toys. Do they allow her out the kitchen? The door's locked.
It's Casey.
Okay, we got to meet Santa in the end. Got to meet Santa. Right, well, we met Santa. Lovely guy. Expensive photos. But we're now going south. So we're heading towards Oulu, which is a city in northern Finland. For tonight to park up. It's for about 2.5 hours. But we're starting to make our way south to escape the onset of the winter. Quite the change in weather from That's definitely quite the change in weather from 1 degrees at Santa to right, I'm gonna stop walking on the rocks while I talk. Quite a change in weather from 1 degrees at Santa to 9 degrees and sun just a little bit further south. Absolutely gorgeous, and actually in some places mirror smooth. Hopefully we've got some good views of the horizon looking north, so a bit of luck, a bit of sunshine, a bit of clear skies. I'm going to fall over on a rock again. We'll get some northern lights and some stars. This is the best beer aisle ever. It seems alcohol's far easier to buy in Finland than it is Sweden. Spook them. If I don't make any rapid movements, they are unable to see me. What a beautiful sight. It appears that the John and Mandy mark each country they've travelled to by adding a picture form representation. relation of that country to their vehicle or mobile home. Hopefully they all stick the flag the right way up. I think we should move off before we overstay our welcome. So today's drive takes us down Road 19 in Finland. So we're going to cut inland a little bit opposed to following the coast. We want to make the journey a little bit shorter, and just to break up the different type of the drive really. So about 4 hours worth of driving today, and it should get us within 2 hours of Helsinki, and then probably tomorrow head towards Helsinki. Till then, more driving. So I want to come back to northern Norway, Sweden and Finland in the winter when it's when it's cold, the -20s and so on. Whilst there are a few little changes I would make to the van. One of the ones is tyres, which is interesting. So I assumed studded tyres would be the way to go. But then one of my Finnish friends have said, no, you don't need studded tyres. What do you guys think? If I was to come back in a van, would I go for studded tyres? Or because would want to go further north where the roads would just be snow, would having my KO2s, which have got the winter rating on them, and given the weight of the vehicle, would that be a better option? Post below, because I'm just interested to hear. There are a few other alterations I would make to the van if I was to come back for winter in the real cold. So I think the main change I would make is I would add an engine preheater. So I can't imagine the engine is going to enjoy trying to be started in -20 after a night. So I'll do one of those. Not too difficult. I've actually got two Webasto engine preheaters. I've got a V-Bay got working from Range Rovers. I would add a second battery to battery charger, because solar would be doing minimal work. But having two 30 amp battery chargers would be a nice amount of power coming in from the engine just running or doing a little bit of driving. Other things, if I was using a campsite, I might look at adding an electric heater as well. It would be kind of nice if I was on a campsite in the winter, even a day or night, that I could plug the van in and have an electric heater running to keep the van warm opposed to running the diesel heater and just saving a bit of diesel if the electricity is free. All of my tanks are internal apart from the grey tank, and they're all sort of kept away from anything cold. What other winter upgrades would you make to a vehicle? Would you recommend if you were coming into sort of the Scandinavian winter? This is Helsinki. I've been for a pub crawl with John and Mandy, and yeah, been for a pub crawl. This is Helsinki. We're going back to the vans if we can find them. So that's pretty much going to end the Scandinavian part of the trip. And the minute I'm queuing up for the Viking Line's ferry to Tallinn in Estonia, currently and leaving Helsinki in Finland and leaving Scandinavia altogether. Currently working on the edit, and it has come to my attention I've been using Scandinavian wrong, or wrongly referring to Finland as a Scandinavian country, where geographically and politically that's incorrect. It's a Nordic country alongside Denmark, Norway, Sweden and Iceland. However, it seems from a language point of view, it is often broadly used, potentially incorrectly, to describe Finland. So I should have been saying Nordic country when I've actually called Finland a Scandinavian country multiple times. And that's going to sort of conclude this first little bit. And Scandinavian, Norway, Sweden and Finland has been absolutely amazing. I think this is a good recce trip for me wanting to come back in the future when I've got more time to come enjoy these countries a lot more. But I don't actually have any plans now. I've probably got another 3 or 4 weeks before I need to get back to the UK in mid-November. But we're going to enter Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland. I know that's going to happen. That's sort of the plan, but I've got no general plan. I'm just going to make it up as I go along here. I'm going to be joining John and Mandy for a little bit more. as you make our way down to Poland, and then we'll sort of go from there. So I forgot to film an outro for this part of the video, but all I want to say is thank you very much for joining me for the Nordic part of this trip. Now on to the next section. If you want to see this trip from a different point of view, subscribe to John and Mandy, who are the people I've been convoying with. And for me, well, thank you very much for joining me. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. It really helps me out. If you've got any comments, feel free to put some comments down, or even just like the video. If you've got questions or want to see more live and up-to-date content, find in the description where you find the Instagram profile, and you can follow some more live and up-to-date content on there. But apart from that, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.